So the Twitter storm is, well, although it went on at 11. From what I gather, it's if you tweet every sort of 15 minutes or so, it updates.
Yeah,
Is that right?
You can tweet as many times as you like. I believe you
Yeah.
can only tweet the same tweet like once, and maybe Twitter tries to reduce you spamming Twitter, but
Yeah.
you can just keep adding a different hashtag at the bottom of it, like whatever your favourite show is at the moment. Add that to the bottom, and it'll let you keep adding the same thing.
That's exactly what I did. I did one with the hashtag just JFLM, and then Justice for Luke Mitchell, and then in the community, and then the what was the last one again? I've got it right here. I've got it. Oh, our goal is justice.
Yep.
And all I did, and you know, what I find one of the simplest ways of telling people, you know, that there's something wrong here. It's just that little 25 seconds of Murder in a Small Town, where you've got the Sarah, is it Gomes? Then you've got the attorney. Then you've got the director of the Forensic Institute, and they're all saying, you know, there's something wrong with this case. You know, it's not us saying this. We were given that information from them. You know, it's not us saying that there's something wrong with the case. It's people higher up the food chain that have a much better idea as to what's going on, who are saying this.
Of these things, so they can recognise when there's an anomaly in a conviction.
Yep. And the problem is, it's like even the other day I got a comment on one of the Stephen Avery videos. You know, I can't believe you guys are going on about this. Those guys are so innocent, and you think, well, yeah, you clearly haven't got a clue what you're talking about. Clearly, you dislike. You know, you've heard about Stephen Avery, Brendan Dassey. You probably were turned against them big time by the stories that were being fed to. Well, stories that were fed to media reporters who could do no better than simply parrot what they were being told, and were simply sort of competing for the goriest version of the events.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened to Luke Mitchell, wasn't it? You
Absolutely.
know, it was just let's see how bizarre we can make this.
And people just absorbed it. I don't know whether it's because of, you know, social media now. People are a wee bit more sceptical about believing everything the papers say. But when you think back then, you know, the same with Stephen, people just, you know, and it's hard to get people to actually consider the fact that there might be an alternative explanation for what's going on. You know, they just want to believe everything, and it doesn't make us conspiracy theories. I think it makes us more open-minded and maybe safer in a way to not just believe in everything that we're fed. You know,
I mean, you know, it all depends on, to a certain extent, who the journalist is, doesn't it? You know.
Yeah,
that's one of the big things. If you've got reliable journalists, you know, I mean, I'm looking at, you know, over there in America, you know, your likes of your John Farracks, who are doing so much great work, you know, actually going across, meeting, you know, Kathleen Zellner to write to write about it, perfect. But then you get your Sun newspapers, and was it just the Sun, or was it the
all of the newspapers?
All of the newspapers.
All of the newspapers.
And we've even got one of them that sort of said, you know, they never had this before, where they've come forward and said, you know, the police getting in touch with a newspaper, an editor, to say, by the way, he's guilty. It never had that before, and it well, I'm pretty sure that particular reporter or editor or whatever did not simply parrot what a policeman had told him.
Well, you would hope. You would hope.
Yeah.
You would hope.
So anyway, and yeah, hi Pete, hi Jazz, hi everybody. Dion, yes, Pete, he's yes, he messaged at 5 11:32 his time.
Yep.
11:32 is
getting ready for work.
5.
Getting ready
Yeah,
for work.
5:32 in Two Rivers
Mm-hmm.
in Manitowoc County. So hi there, Pete.
He's getting great at the time difference. He's always telling me he's getting great at it. He says, "Oh, it must be such and such time," and I'm like, "Whoa, you're getting good."
Yep. Even Australia now, I can work that one out. So we are 11:40, in which case 11 minus 3 is 8. So it's 8:40 in the evening in well, depends which part of Australia, of course, but Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide is half an hour nearer to us. That's why it makes it so tricky to try and work out when it's Silkman. Pete, hiya. Hi everyone, and to the beautiful Sharon and the Paul. Catch you guys later, Mr. Darcy. Got to go into work now. Yes, Pete, you have. Yes.
Have a nice day, Pete.
All I can say is to the people at work in that factory, beware. There's a moose loose about the hoose.
There is.
Tell us about people getting loose in. Is it George Square?
Yes, George Square in Glasgow.
And is it a march? Is it a march or is it a protest?
It's a protest, a peaceful protest of all the groups getting together and all the organisations getting together.
And obviously we wait to see how many people are able to get across, to support that.
Absolutely.
And be interesting to see what sort of media coverage it garners.
Yes. If any, actually, because I wouldn't be surprised if they deliberately just happen to ignore it, or they pick the one guy that's maybe like a Ned acting like an idiot, and they say this is the kind of caliber of Luke Mitchell supporter, some jakey guy standing. That's who they'll pick. They won't pick the articulate people that are amazing and doing posters and banners and working all night doing stuff. No, they won't pick that person. They'll pick I
don't think there's any danger of any Luke Mitchell supporter going either to Hampden, Parkhead or Ibrox and trying to break in and do what they did at Old Trafford. I don't.
Paul, I just go, shh, don't hear it.
Yeah.
What did he say?
It ain't gonna happen. It's so what was happening with the sound? Did it crackle or something?
No, I'm saying when you talk football, I'm just like, or sports.
Oh, I see. Right.
I'm just like, can't hear it. It's like, shh, don't hear.
Yeah.
It was the same when Richard would talk about the stuff, and I was like, it's like, yep. Or Neil's photographs, actually, to be fair.
And how has the Facebook? Now you're a moderator and an admin.
I'm the creator of.
You're a creator, an admin, a mod, and a rocker, and a punk in the in which
a go-to and the one that everybody helps pick up once I've done too much.
Yeah. And which group is that in? That's the
it's the Jodie Jones and Luke Mitchell Who Got Justice official group.
And how's that group growing? Is it still expanding?
Amazing. It's going from strength to strength. I know that's a cliche to say, but we are. It's great. Everyone's doing amazing, and they're so involved in being out of the group and doing stuff, which is really important. I've been advocating for that. It's not just about numbers. It's about when something like a rally comes up or a protest, what are you going to be able to do out there?
Yeah, and also for the benefit of somebody who might not have heard of this case, comes across this video as a result of maybe interest in Stephen Avery and Brendan Darcy. Tell us a little bit about the difference that having Sandra's book being read by a lot of people has made. Yeah.
Oh, well, if you go back to what you were saying about the media, the fact that there was such a bias the other way. For people reading Sandra's book, they're just like, wait, what? How did we not know that? So it's like they're actually getting the facts, they're actually getting the real story. They're getting it's not just it's really I say, I mean, I'm sorry, Sandra, if you're watching this, don't get it ready. But Sandra's book is like an encyclopedia of the case. It really is. It's everything's there. The way she's done it is just perfect. I think I'm quite an organised person, and I think if I was designing a book that way, you know, you would want it to be like an encyclopedia, so you can go back and look at any section and recap and, you know, remember and stuff like that. So it's not like a Mills and Boon novel.
No.
You know, it's not like some sort of biography of some celebrity. It's like a proper academic journal of understanding the case.
Yep.
So it's made a big difference to people's understanding.
Indeed. And let's put it back to this one. For the for that particular banner. So I'm not going to keep you much longer, because are there other people doing going to be doing lives?
Well, yes,
from 12 o'clock
on the Look Injustice YouTube channel. They're going to be streaming live the protest.
Right,
so that's Look Injustice, like 2 words, look, and then Injustice.
Look Injustice, because I can just pop that in the in the description, and I can also pop it in the chat.
I believe it's going to be on Twitch and possibly Facebook as well. People will be doing much like they do with the Making a Murderer, you know, the Stephen and Brendan stuff. You know, they'll all be taking videos and, you know.
Yes. Absolutely. Yep, got it. Share, copy link. So if I go back here and go there and go there and go there and go there and click on that, and with the even somebody as old and decrepit as me, and has been up since 5 o'clock this morning, because Jock has got into a habit of. Yep. In fact, that's what I was going to ask. You know, can you please assure us that no Neils were hurt in the making of this video?
I can assure you, no Neils were hurt in the making of this video.
Excellent, excellent.
Very much.
Not hurt very much. Aye, right.
Yeah. It's all about the words. It's all about how you use the words, as I've been hearing, you know.
Yeah.
Paul, I was wondering, would you like a wee drink? You know, I'm just thinking fancy a little iron brew. That's a bit stupid having that at this time of the morning.
Aye. Who is Iron Brew then?
Oh, is there somebody in the chat called Iron Brew? I never knew.
Yeah. I'm just wondering. You know, somebody's put Sandra book. Okay, is a small percent of the case. Small bits of thousands of words, statements used to make her story fit. Her story fit. All right. Can't teach stupid. Answer some questions. Experts. It's gobbledygook. I'm sorry. That's just gobbledygook. Like I said, if you
caffeine rush, they must be having a caffeine rush.
Yeah. It's 25 seconds long. Listen to the Forensics Institute experts, the lady Sarah, then the attorney, then the leader, and there are your experts, and they're saying it just doesn't fit. There are huge problems with this, and when you look at the problem with the coverage at the time, the sensationalist coverage, which you know, I always thought that was not permitted, but of course, until somebody is charged, then you know, the courts can sort of put a gag order, if you like, on the media. But because he wasn't charged at that point, it does come across, whether it was deliberate or not, it does come across as if there was a concerted campaign for a few months to try and get Luke to crack.
Remember, Paul, also that was the gag thing was only there until he reached 16, and he reached 16, so they were able to do it again leading up to the trial. So it was like Cassandra explained that to me. So it was like they were able to do it for all this time until, you know, it was official that he was going to be going to trial
Yep.
for it, so they had
Yep.
to stay quiet. And it was like, I can't remember if it was like a matter of months that they had to be quiet for, but it wasn't a long time. Then they turned 16, and then they were able to just bombard again.
Yeah.
So it was like a very small window in that sort of 18-month period.
Yep. 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 And you know, it's a bit like people in Manitalk. You know, if they're given this ghastly story, I knew nothing about it. All I knew, working in Dalkeith, I've been working in Dalkeith since 1983. You know the place very, very well. And you know, just everybody was shocked by what had happened, and the fact that they had found the person, and I think it gave, to a certain extent, it gives a little bit of safety knowing that it was somebody that knew Jodie. It wasn't just a random killer, because that would be very worrying. I mean, it was bad enough as it is, but you know, when you've once they've arrested somebody, you assume that everything was done correctly, and then you realise. I mean, it was one of my pupils that first alerted me about it. 2 years ago?
I was thinking it must be 2 years. We were all in that group to start with.
Yep. And he said, you know, you want to look at this because I went to school with Luke Mitchell and Jodie Jones. I was a year above them.
Yep.
I don't think that he's guilty, and that was you know, somebody with that knowledge back then, realizing all of the problems with the case. But it was just a case of, you know, demonize him. And have the public, you know, perception of him as this you know, the local weirdo. He must be guilty because he listens to a certain type of music, or because he carries a knife around, which was forensically checked. It wasn't the murder weapon. But yeah, this complete lack of any speck of blood on him.
And the weird things that they come up with, saying how that would have been achieved, you know?
Yes,
like, even at that, yes, okay, you could maybe cover certain things up, but even the pathologist that examined Jodie had said, you know, given the fact that the amount of blood loss, you know, it was really, you know, he would have had to wear goggles and a coverall, and you know, what 14-year-old's going to think, oh yeah, I'm going to go and, you know, get goggles. And if it's supposed to be this crime of passion, you know, you're not thinking goggles and bloody coats, you know, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing that struck me was this idiot savant that Kathleen Zellner talks about in Stephen's case. You know, he's able to forensically clean his caravan, his trailer, and the garage, and yet he manages to leave traces of his blood in the RAV4. You know, so you've got you know, Luke who is able to cleanse himself. By the way,
without washing himself, though. Cleanse himself without washing himself, remember?
And get home of a summer's evening without anybody noticing anything. And yet, you know, half an hour later, he's just casually stood by a wall. And then, you know, he's such a clever person, and yet he's such an idiot to lead them to the victim.
I know. And I also want to point out that he was seen wearing the same jacket that he was seen later on wearing, and that the police retrieved, right? So one of the things they often say is, oh, he had this jacket on and he was able to zip it up and all that.
Parker jacket.
Yep. Which didn't, no. But there was another person that did have a Parker jacket that was walking around often in the neighbourhood. And it wasn't until after the, you know, poor Jodie lost her life that he got the Parker jacket. So it was convenient again for them to say, oh, Parker jacket, you know. So
well, that's right. I mean, they've got the jacket that Luke was wearing, but this supposed Parker jacket, he got once the police had taken some of his clothes. Corinne went and got him some more, and even got a receipt, you know.
Yep, but no, that wouldn't have been what the media heard, though. Of course.
Yeah, no. Anyway, I'm going to let you go because it's nearly 12 o'clock and there'll be people, as you say, streaming from the, well, I popped the link in there. It was the what's the name of the
Luke
group
Injustice.
again?
Yeah, Luke Injustice.
Luke Injustice, that was it. Yeah. So
on
I
channel.
should have the link copied, and
Yep.
I will be able to pop that in the link in the description into this video as well. So yep, I better crack on. I'm going to be chatting with Shark Snack in just over an hour's time.
No, that'll be nice.
And we all know who that is.
Yeah.
Swims the sharks, yeah. Shark bait.
Yes. Oh, I know. Yep. Yeah. Shark bait, not clickbait.
Well, you know, if Kathleen Zellner is number one pain in the ass as far as Wisconsin law enforcement is concerned,
yeah,
he's definitely number two.
A solid number two.
Very solid number two, yes.
Yes. Oh well, thanks, Paul. Thanks for having me on and
no,
it's helping to
great, yeah.
You've helped to spread the word for us.
Yeah. And yep. Well, enjoy whatever the weather is like up in across in sunny Glasgow. It was very brightly sunny here.
Just the other night. It might be, sorry, Paul. It might be a protest of 10 minutes with this rain.
Yeah.
But don't let the rain put you off, because you are probably more than likely Scottish. But yes, come along, everyone. Please come along, and don't think that if you can't make it for 12 that you can't be there. There'll be people there probably for at least an hour. And you're doing a good thing if you go along.
Yeah, it was as I say, it was 5 o'clock this morning, 5:15 when I was out the house with the Jock, and it was bright and sunny then. It really was. The sun was like dazzling.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something you notice, isn't it? It often the day either starts off really sunny and then it goes cloudy and rainy, or sometimes it's the opposite way around. But as somebody pointed out to me, if you wake up in Galashiels and you look across to the Eildons and you can't see them, it's raining. If you wake up and you look out towards the Eildons and you can see them, it means it's going to rain.
Well, here if you can't hear the road, it's raining.
Yeah.
If you can hear the road, it's not.
Right. Okay. Crack on, and we'll catch you soon.
Paul.
Cheers,
Catch you later.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye for now. Bye-bye.